Hello and welcome to Breakfast for Pancakes. I am your host, PK Sullivan. This week's video comes from a friend of mine. She is not a big home cook. She doesn't do the same sorts of cooking that I am, so she really wanted to know what I consider essential to a modern kitchen. What are the bare necessities that you need in order to cook effectively? And that's what this video is today. Later, I will go into some of the nice to haves and even my just complete splurge items in separate videos for people who, like me, are inclined towards gadgets and new technology and tools. But you also need to be able to measure the food that you're cooking. So you're going to need a variety of measuring tools. The most common is going to be your measuring cup. Measuring cups should be able to cover from a couple of ounces, quarter cup, all the way up to a quart or more. For years, I've used this set of Pyrex. There's three, a 1 cup, a 2 cup, and a quart. I moved to this OXO plastic one. Something I really like about this, the markings along the rim on the inside. However, if you're feeling cheeky, there is an alternative, and I'll link to this in the show notes. American Science and Surplus is a store here in Chicago that sells scientific equipment and lots of weird things. My wife and I love the store. So we were there a while ago, and for $7, I got a set of these graduated beakers. I love these. They're great. They make for quick, accurate measurements. A liter is just bigger than a quart. 500 milliliters is just bigger than a pint. 250 milliliters is just more than a cup. And then we have two fine-grained measurements here in 150 milliliters. These are phenomenal. Not only do they measure really quickly, easily, and accurately, but their pour spouts are superbly designed. They pour the liquid incredibly well. And also this plastic material, I don't know what it is, but nothing stays on it. The liquid just pours right out. There's maybe a couple drops. It doesn't leave residue behind. I really love these. All right, going along with your measuring cups, you're going to need some measuring spoons. What's the big deal? Measuring spoons are measuring spoons. Yeah, but some are better. I like these. They're metal so that they're dishwasher safe. They're just stainless steel. They have nice thin walls all around, so it's easy to scoop with them, and the top is completely flat with the handle, so if I need to scrape to level it off, super smooth. All super tiny little details. Killer feature on this, though, is the shape of the bowls. These are skinny and long, which means that they can actually fit in spice jars when you want to just scoop out of the spice jar. A lot of measuring spoons have wide, shallow bowls, and you can't get the spoon in the spice jar. I really prefer these. They were a little more expensive than you might otherwise get. I think these were $17 at the Container Store, but I love it so much I bought two, and then for myself, and then I bought a set for my sister and gave them to her because they're phenomenal, wonderfully designed. So yeah, get yourself some measuring spoons, get good ones, they'll last a lifetime. Buy once and you'll be done. Quick note on dry measuring cups. I have some. I don't really use them much. They've basically been relegated to cereal scoops. I don't measure dry goods by volume. I measure dry goods by weights. I do have one strong preference on measuring cups. I wish that more dry good measuring cups included the 2/3 and 3/4 measures, because the most common cereal serving size that I found is 2/3 of a cup. And it's early in the morning, my tea hasn't been ready yet. I just want to scoop once and be done. I don't want to be scooping twice. I want the 2/3 cup measure. I don't have one anymore. The handle broke off because it was cheap plastic junk. Yeah, I loved that measure. Speaking of dry goods and measuring by weight, get yourself a kitchen scale. I do consider this an absolute kitchen essential. This is not a nice to have. This is absolutely key to cooking well at home, in my opinion, for the way that I cook and the way that I like to teach people to cook. Doesn't have to be fancy. This one I think was $35 or $40 at my local cafe. They sell some coffee equipment. But yeah, this holds up to 4 kilograms and it has a 0.5 gram precision. So it will measure from 0.5 grams up to 4,000 grams. It has different modes. I almost always leave it in gram just because I find that to be the most precise and it's the way my brain works. Get something that has a 0.5 gram precision, a 0 tare function, and you're good to go. The last measurement you're going to want to have for your kitchen is temperature. So you are going to need a thermometer. Know that your turkey is safe before you take it out of the oven and try to impress the in-laws only to find out that it's still raw inside. Get a thermometer. This is incredibly useful for when you are frying, making caramel, checking the doneness of meat, potatoes, bread, all sorts of things. Some of these get really pricey. I don't think they need to be. ThermoWorks ThermoPen, those are like $120. I don't think you need to spend that much. This is from S&S Grills. It's their S&S 100 and it is phenomenal. It works just as well as any ThermoPen I have ever tried. It is fast, accurate. It has a ton of great features. When you are making a steak and you want it perfectly medium rare, aiming for 130 to 135 degrees. How do you know that? Well, either you spend years in a professional kitchen cooking thousands of steaks so that you know what it does by feel, or get yourself a thermometer and you'll be good to go. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. Hit those buttons down below, bell for notifications, all of that. I do have a Patreon, so if you would like to help me on my journey of better home cooking education, go ahead and follow the link in the show notes over to my Patreon. There are some great rewards there, and I'm really looking forward to building up a community of great home cooks. I'll see you next time.